If you have only 7 days to study for SAT math before the SAT, you can do it. Trust me. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a 7-day plan to help you go from totally clueless to completely prepared for the math portion on the SAT. On day 1, you're going to start by taking a practice test if you haven't already. If you've taken the PSAT or an earlier SAT, this will suffice. The main goal is for you to be able to review your results, particularly the math results and the skills section, and the levels which you've achieved for all 4 skills tested on the SAT math. Because of this, you could choose to take only the math section and skip the reading and writing if you're taking on Blue Book's practice tests. While taking the practice test, flag every problem that you don't immediately know how to solve. This will become useful later on. After the practice test, review your score and the skill sections which need the most improvement. On the second day, you'll be working on the algebra problems. Use Khan Academy to work through the algebra section and work on the difficulty most appropriate for the score level that you achieved in your Blue Book practice test. If you had half of the bars filled, then work on the medium and most difficult levels. If you had only 1 or 2 bars filled, you can work on all 3 of the algebra levels. If they were all full, still go ahead and work on the most difficult levels. The algebra problems are problems that involve linear, quadratic equations, solving for a variable, graphing, and understanding these graphs. So make sure you watch the videos on Khan Academy so you can get that visual component. Also work on using Desmos graphing calculator to solve the problems because it's super helpful for the algebra questions and you can use it the entire time in taking the math portion of the SAT. I'd recommend watching my videos on solving systems of equations, Desmos, and quadratics as well because they will help provide some useful tips and tricks to solve these problem types. On day 3, you're going to work on advanced math on Khan Academy. You're going to work very similarly to what you did the day before, considering your skill distributions and the level with which you start working on Khan Academy, watching the videos, using the worksheets, and solving the problems. Advanced math is hard because there's a lot of different topics covered, and these problems tend to be some of the most tricky strategy-wise in the SAT because you're not going to see anything similar in high school math. Make sure you understand how to work with constants, A, B, C, because you're going to see a lot of these types of problems on the advanced math questions. I'd also suggest checking out my video on solving the 5 hardest problems on the SAT math that I've seen in the Blue Book exams. On day 4, you're going to be working with the problem solving and data analysis problems, very similar to how you approach what skill level you should start off with. Again, I'd recommend using Khan Academy and watching the videos, the visuals. These problems typically include word problems, anything with mean, median, mode, range, reading and interpreting graphs. I suggest watching my videos on mean and mode and word problems in general. On day 5, you're going to be doing geometry and trigonometry, which is just what it sounds like. Again, you'll work with Khan Academy for the appropriate difficulty, and you'll be studying geometry. Make sure you know those formulas and how to use them, whether in a word problem context or no. And trigonometry, sines, cosines, radians. These are all key components for the SAT. Make sure that you know the angles and are comfortable with angles for parallel lines, perpendicular lines, and inside shapes. On day 6, you're going to be working on time because this is one of the hardest things and one of the things that people struggle with most, even as they get more advanced. There are 35 minutes to answer 22 questions for each of the 2 modules. I'd suggest going back to every problem that you flagged from day 1 of your practice test and work on every single flagged problem until you can solve them under 2 minutes. This will help make sure that you can answer the toughest problems as quickly as possible on test day. Don't forget to practice these problems using Desmos if you didn't before. Also check out my video on beating the clock for SAT math. On day 7, you're going to spend time reviewing. Review the things that you scored the lowest on that were the biggest struggle for you as you're practicing throughout the week. Practice any math problems that you continue to struggle with on day 6, particularly those that you completed on the earlier practice test. Watch my video on avoiding 3 common mistakes in the SAT. Make sure you have all those formulas memorized and get some good sleep. Go to bed on time the night before. Get all your materials ready. Don't forget your calculator. And don't worry, you've studied every single type of problem that they can throw at you, and you have a tool belt full of strategies, tips, and approaches that you can implement on your next SAT. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Also check out my video on a 7-day plan for reading and writing. I got a 780 on the math and a 790 on the English for the SAT. If you have any ideas for future videos, please put those in the comments below, along with any questions you might have. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.